What are some signals which candidates can get or look for in to evaluate if they are going for the right company or the right team?
The best product managers are not great product managers because they've had the best working experiences.
Some of the product conferences or like various career events in the local states also have gone down that they can explore in terms of, because networking, it's not easy. It's gonna take time, and a lot of people probably don't have time also. I was just curious.
Yeah, networking is very not scalable. I won't sugarcoat that. So this is actually why I would say treat it like a product launch where you're setting very clear and achievable metrics.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our podcast, Everything Product. So we talk about latest technologies and product management concepts here. So we are super excited to have Rich again on our podcast as a recurring guest. So Rich is a co-founder of Product Gym, and it's a career development company that specializes in helping professionals transition into product management. So he has a lot of tips into getting into product management. So today we are going to focus specifically on state of product management hiring in 2024 and AI's role in shaping product management. So with that, thanks for joining the podcast, Rich. So could you give a very brief introduction about yourself?
Yeah. So this is my second podcast with you guys. I'm one of the co-founders of Product Gym. We are a New York-based product management community, helping both aspiring and experienced product managers land their next product manager job. So for aspiring product managers, we help provide them with all of the necessary job skills and career skills to successfully navigate the transition for the first time. And I would say officially as of 2022, because of the overwhelming number of product managers that were impacted by the tech layoffs, we've also been helping a lot of experienced product managers also navigate their job search during this crazy market that we're in right now.
What are some signals which candidates can get or look for in to evaluate if they are going for the right company or the right team?
I mean, it starts with asking all the questions that people read about in product management books, but for whatever reason, don't choose to be utilized in solving real world problems like getting your own job. Like, what is this is why I laugh at people that name drop like 5 to 7 letter frameworks that they got like from, a $19.95 book off Amazon that everybody has access to. Like, listen, nobody uses those frameworks in the real world. I know, and we teach it here. I don't know any product team that actually does. But like, if you take a look at like something as basic as Peloton, how many bikes can you sell? Does it actually make sense? Like, I used to see a WeWork location crank out in every corner of New York like it was a Starbucks, but I never saw people inside. And I'm like, how is this even possible? Like, it doesn't really take, I think it takes like exercising like some common sense, but take a look at how long the team has actually been there, right? A very new head or director of product is most likely trying to grasp the situation themselves. And that means like, I would rather be on a team where the head of product or director of product has been there for 5 to 6 years than somebody that's been there for 3 months. When we pick up a hiring partnership where the head or director of product has been there for less than 6 months, a lot of times they're telling us like, we're setting up all these processes. So I'm like, okay, I can get you guys better resumes, but like, what are the KPIs that they're responsible for? It's like, we have none. I mean, I appreciate them telling me the truth, but also like understand that you're walking into that scenario with them. But I also think that people need to be, on one end, that could also present itself to be a huge opportunity. The best product managers are not great product managers because they've had the best working experiences. The best product managers in the business are the best product managers because they have the most negative work experience. I think that's actually the best place to learn because like I see the entitlement that's kind of existing in the marketplace right now is like, how do I know this is going to be a stable work? And you don't. Do I need to provide any other additional response to you? Like, you don't. Like, you don't know, even if you're going into an established team or company, whether or not we've had actually a lot of people join our membership recently because companies are like, well, other companies are doing layoffs, so maybe we should do layoffs too. Maybe we need to get ready, right? Like get ready for what? The White Walkers? So like they didn't do anything wrong. They were on a very profitable product. They were hitting and exceeding KPIs. So like I would say the last thing to look for is like always look for a job.
I think you bring up some good points around focusing on more of the quality of time we are spending and searching rather than just quantity. Because I know some people just apply without even taking a look at all. But networking relationships matter a lot than anything, I feel. In this market, I mean, the number of networking opportunities, at least the way I'm seeing is, are very limited because, for
Yes,
example,
yeah.
career fairs have gone down significantly within colleges, and some of the product conferences or like various career events in the local states also have gone down. So what are the like some of the probably the avenues that are available for folks that they can explore in terms of, because networking it's not easy, it's going to take time, and a lot of people probably don't have time also. I was just
Yeah.
curious.
Networking is very not scalable. I won't sugarcoat that. So this is actually why I would say treat it like a product launch where you're setting very clear and achievable metrics. Networking sessions are more limited. However, if you're taking a look at it, regardless of what city you're living in America, there is at least minimum, I would say at the very bare minimum, 1 to 2 networking sessions a month in any given city for the world product management, right? So if you can't increase quantity, another thing that you can do is actually increase quality. So are you bringing your resume to these networking sessions? Are you actually preparing your pitch? Are you actually doing research of who's going to actually be there? Are you positioning yourself in with the expectation that you're actually going to go out there and grab interviews? So people complain like I love complaints because that's opportunities for us, right, to go out there and provide additional services. But in New York, at its height, there used to be like, I don't know, 6 p.m. meetups a week. I think the only city that may have even come close is like San Francisco. But obviously, geography has a lot to do with it. When you're on an island, it's a little bit easier. We brought in one of my friends that I went to high school with, Spotify product manager, came in there, gave a talk. And I remember 8 people asked like these random questions. And they're like, so what does Spotify look for in a product manager? Like what skills would differentiate me if I wanted to apply to Spotify? What do you look for in a team member? Like how does somebody stand out? One girl pushed through everybody and she says, this is my resume. I saw that you're hiring for a product manager position for platform. And it says that it reports directly to you. Can I interview with you for the role right now? She's like, and he was like, Rich, are we done with the Q&A portion? I was like, well, we've been at it for about 25 minutes, pretty much circling the right questions. So you guys definitely take that conference room right there. And, people are like, how rude. Like, I had a question. It's like, yo, you got the target, line up the ammunition and start getting ready to get ready to come in here and take it down. So I also see that when people are going into networking sessions, yes, it is time consuming, but what's your game plan going into a networking session other than standing there in the corner like it's your first dance at a high school, right? So increasing quality, like treat it like a product launch. Like what are all the different ways that we can make an impact? The other thing also, I think is also like breaking down your time management and removing the friction. I've actually told people to start using Airtable to go ahead and track their applications rather than utilizing just a spreadsheet, because there's just more like ways that you can include different fields. Mass applying. I had a guy recently just land multiple, like about 4 offers. He was the former Wayfair product manager. He was landing 25 product manager interviews a week, and with our program. And which is why if you guys are interested, definitely contact us. But he had about 70% of his interviews were coming in from cold outreach, cold applying, and 30% of his interviews were coming in from direct LinkedIn messages. So the difference was with an application, the response time was about 4 to 7 weeks. With direct LinkedIn outreach, it was within 3 to 10 days. So why wouldn't somebody just do all in on just one? Well, here's the thing. You get a bigger backlog because you don't need to think a lot when you're applying. So if you can
Yep.
zone out, like if you have music or you're applying with a friend, you can get more quantity out there, but it's going to take a longer time for you to hear back. But you're already planting seeds for the long term. Now, the other thing here is dealing with the more immediate. You can go out there and get maybe a higher quality interview because you're reaching out to them. But if you're reaching out to them on LinkedIn, you have to bring something of value. So he had a credit card background. So he applied to 12 credit card companies, cold apply, cold outreach, cold application, 0 for 12. He reached out to the hiring managers for all 12 credit card companies. He was 12 for 12. Because when you think
Yeah.
outside of shitty furniture, you think e-commerce. Like, don't also assume that like your person's actually actually reviewing your information, right?
Yep.
So I would say like yes, it does take time, but this just goes back to like what is your game? What is your strategy to go to market?
And also AI has been popping up a lot of places, right? A lot of companies are opening up specializations in AI and all. So what do you think? Are you seeing more roles specific to AI? Because I've seen a lot of people changing their profile, LinkedIn profile, into a AI product manager. I haven't seen them before, but now I have seen them pop up everywhere, and also jobs pop up everywhere. So what's your opinion there?
AI product manager as a branding tool does as much for you as when you're walking into a hotel and they say it's a LEED certified building. That's you don't care when you're sleeping there. It's I mean, like anybody can call themselves an AI product manager right now, but there are AI product managers and there's AI product managers like there's jujitsu black belts and then there's jujitsu black belts, like so like taking a few certifications does not entitle you to really claim that you are AI product manager with respect. But the other thing here is like, yes, AI is playing a very big role in product management. And it's going to continue to do so. And product managers that do not have this skill is actually going to unfortunately get left behind. I think that there's a learning curve, but once they pass that, even with our own blog writing and content writing team, they had a learning curve with ChatGPT, and it was actually easier for them to just type it all out on a Google Doc or a Notion. But once they actually like was able to get this skill, we spent a lot of time making sure they got leveled up. They got really good at it. They're like, I don't even know how I used to, like, we're cranking out right now. If you're following us, we're doing one YouTube video a day, like across 5 channels. So AI skills are very important, but I would go ahead and follow it up with this. Having a portfolio to highlight what you're having a portfolio or side project to highlight like what AI skills you have and how does that help the hiring team is very important. One of the very real problems in product management right now is you're expected to drive more results in a shorter amount of time with less resources. But at the same time, the company doesn't allow you to spend resources the way that you used to. So you have to present data and you're waiting for the data analyst to get back to you. But because data analysts are getting laid off too, they have a backlog where everybody's like, I need these charts, I need these dashboards, I need these reports. They never get it back when they need it. And when they do, it never looks the way that they need it to look like. So if you have that SQL certificate, and you know how to actually help them take that off of their hands, you're giving them back maybe 2 or 3 weeks of their life so they can go back and drive results and protect their job and protect the team. Now, the very bad assumption is just assuming because you got the certificate that people are going to review your resume, because where does the certificate actually hang? It's at the very bottom of the resume. So if you're not being vocal about, I have this certificate, a lot of people are interviewing with the mistake that like, well, I took the time to look at your job description, so you must have no, they didn't read your resume. They don't even know why they're talking to you. The recruiter says they should. If you don't tell them how that certificate can help them, right? Like how people make commercials for products. Like, this is a problem. Like, are you too busy to cook and you don't know what groceries to buy? Well, this is why Blue Apron is going to help you out this Friday. Like, you always have to present the problem like, hey, Are you waiting for your data analyst to get back to you? And that's creating a lot of time. And you got people that you're reporting to, and they're wondering, why aren't we getting more done? What have you guys been doing for the last 3 weeks? Well, I was waiting for the data analyst. What were you waiting the data analyst to do? Why can't you do it, right? Well, I can come in and step in and take that off you. If you're not actually communicating that on the interview, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, this is a pretty engaging conversation, Rich. Thanks for sharing your inputs on AI as well as the current state of affairs, especially the product management space. I'm sure like a lot of viewers out there, especially who are in the job hunt space, will have some great takeaways from this.
Yeah.
I would say my final takeaway for people that are looking to get a product manager job is like, have a game plan and stick with that game plan and make sure that your game plan is proven. Like changing up your game plan every 72 hours is actually not helping your situation out. I get a lot of people that DM me on LinkedIn. They're like, what's the secret? What are the tips? There's no tips. It's called work harder. But if there is any positivity that I can shed for people that's made it this far into the interview, is that 90% of your competition, even in today's market, refuses to work as hard as they need to. So I still see people that they're like, it says like I have to go into the office 3 days a week. It's like, you don't have a job. It's like, yeah, but I'm not going back. Okay, good. Don't. So like if you're willing to do all the other things that people are not willing to do, even though you might be a little bit lighter on experience, if you just show that the hiring managers, I'm willing to work harder than everybody else, like that's still very attractive. So definitely don't give up and reach out to us if you need help. I mean it. I'm going to try to get back to all of y'all.
Yeah, thanks for your time. And we'll also mention all the links in the description. So anybody who wants to look at any of the stuff which Rich discussed can look at the description. Awesome. Thanks a lot, Rich.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Bye.